Dear students, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to our new English session. Today inshallah we will discuss some new points about our selection survival land. The first point, as you can see, about the vocabulary strategy. The title is context clues. Let's hear it together.
Context clues. When you come across an unfamiliar or multiple meaning word in a sentence, you can look for comparisons in the text as clues to the word's meaning.
So the context clues is about what? It is about finding the meaning of an unfamiliar word or a multiple meaning word. We can get this meaning by looking for comparisons in the text, and we use them as clues. Let's hear the example.
Find text evidence. When I read the first paragraph on page 181 of Survival Land, I can use the comparisons suddenly sprang into action and raced across to figure out the meaning of immobile. It must mean the opposite, not moving.
The example that we have is from page 181 about the meaning of the word immobile. Here we use the comparison between suddenly sprang into action and raced across. This comparison will help us get the meaning of the word immobile, that will be the opposite, which is not moving. The second point that we have is about the comprehension skill. As we can see here, the title is Theme. Let's hear it together.
Theme. The theme of a story is the message about life that the author thinks is important. The theme is usually not stated in the story. To identify the theme, think about what the characters do and say and what happens to them. Then decide what lesson they learn as a result of their words and actions.
We discussed this part before, and we said already the theme is the message or the lesson that we learn from the story. Usually the theme is not written or is not stated directly in the story, but it is something we should understand. We get it by reading and understanding the story. How to identify it? Think about what characters do and say and what happens to them. Then decide what lesson they learn as a result of their words and actions. Let's find out the theme of our story together. The first part we have in our graphic organizer. What does the character do and say? He got a part here. He said, Latrice knows the sun rises in the east, so she figures out that west is the opposite direction. On the other side, we have what happens to the characters. The characters run west to safety. Then we need to complete the part about the theme according to our understanding to the story. But of course we are going to finish it in our Your Turn practice book. On page 112 in the Your Turn practice book, we already read the first part in the reading book, that the girl knows that the sun rises in the east, so she figures out that west is in the opposite direction. Then the characters run west to safety. We can get another example about what does the character do and say. In this part we can say, Juanita tears off the silver bracelet and ring she is wearing and throws them as far as she could. Then what happens to the character? The crow raced after the jewelry and the friends ran the other way. Of course, this part we got it from the last problem they faced about the gigantic or the huge crow that attacked them. So back to the point of getting the theme. As we read here, the things they did and the things happened to them, we can say that the theme of our story is general knowledge is important and useful. Of course, the theme can be different from one person to another according to your own understanding to the story. Anyway, this is the end of our session. So if you have any other ideas about the theme, please send it to me on Classera, and see you later. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.